Basically, last speed test we done here, the car picked up and rolled 4 times.
My first thought was, how Shelby, our daughter.
We thought that we'd killed John.
So hi guys, it's Yianni from Yiannimize and I'm at Elvington Airfield in York. A little bit further out than I'm used to. And I've got this beauty behind me. It's the Kestrel car. And it's here for a record attempt. You need to watch this video. So I'm about to meet John, who's the driver of this and hoping to achieve a few world records today. The car looks real cool. Before we talk about that, have you broke any world records in the past?
Not world records, we've broke track records and UK records in drag racing. 4 seconds at 300 mile an hour at centre pod.
Sorry, 1 second. 4 seconds at 300 miles an hour. Is that the fastest you've ever been?
Yeah.
And what was that in?
That was in a top fuel dragster, yeah.
So obviously for guys at home, that's with the big wheels at the back, the little wheels at the front, sits like that. Does it lift up?
Yeah, it carries the front wheels, 300 inches long, 0 to 100 in 0.9 of a second.
So to be honest, this car's going to be pretty slow compared to that.
Yeah, it's a different sort of remit really. Drag racing's about G-force, acceleration and deceleration with parachutes and all that kind of stuff. So this is like a build up to speed and then a prolonged speed over a measured distance and stuff like that.
John and his team have spent the last 2 years to transform this 1935 Riley Kestrel. Although most of the bodywork and the chassis are still original, they've modified this car to take a lot more power with a 2.5 litre 5-cylinder Audi engine and full sequential 6-speed gearbox. Let's see if this Kestrel will be flying home with some new records.
I'm with Nigel and Joel. Nigel's the owner of Kestrel Beer and this is your baby.
Yeah, the Flying Kestrel car. We've been working on it for 2 years. We just like projects really. I mean, we worked on helping the RSPB and we funded a research program coming up with solutions to help the Kestrel bird population. And many of those solutions now have been put into practice and it's made a big difference. And I was talking to Joel and to the marketing team at Kestrel Beer. I said, what about a Kestrel car?
I mean, the original idea was to make it the fastest Riley in the world, but that's 70 miles an hour. And I thought,
so that wasn't difficult.
That wasn't really a challenge, yeah. So I kind of went, okay, well, let's do something ridiculous here and give it as much power as humanly possible with keeping it looking as original as possible.
Yeah.
So now we've got a 900 brake horsepower Riley that looks like a Riley Kestrel to an extent, with 80% of the original bodywork.
Is there one specific record today that you like, we can get that record, I'd be over the moon?
The one that I would like is the half-mile standing start.
Okay, why?
Because it's been achieved by a modern car, Ford Focus, 2.5 litre, and I think it's something that people would recognise that a 1935 car taking on a modern Ford Focus is quite something. If we could get close to the 200 and 200 plus, that'd be brilliant, but unfortunately the weather conditions aren't great today, and it's something that we could come away with, something that we're really proud of achieving. And we can always come back at a later date and go for the 200 miles.
So I'm here looking at the roof and obviously the roof's got vinyl on it. And I'm like, it's not the best wrap job. And then David sort of piped up and was like, yeah, it looked good before John rolled it 4 times, the last time he was here. Sorry, just explain that to me. When you say he rolled it 4 times, did he roll it 4 times?
Yeah, he did. This is not our first attempt. Obviously, this is why the body's had like Evolution 2 on it really, and it's had its wind tunnel tests and so forth. Basically, last speed test we done here, we had a misdemeanor and the car picked up and yeah, rolled 4 times. Yeah.
Misdemeanor, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
All we could see was the smoke. We could hear somebody on the drone saying he's rolled it, he's rolled it. I then go into automatic pilot. Being a mum, my first thought was, how Shelby, our daughter, and I then become very sort of practical of, okay, the ambulance has gone out, the guys are behind them, the drone people are saying, yeah, he's rolled it, still moving, checking she's okay. I kind of go almost numb, yeah.
I'm always proud of my dad. Always want him to do it, but always get a bit nervous as well, apprehensive. But I know he builds a good car. I saw the car turn and that was it. I just covered my face and I was just waiting to hear he's okay, which seemed to take an age.
We thought that we'd killed John. We thought, it was a wonderful project, but actually we were responsible for killing. Thankfully that wasn't the case, and what we thought was smoke was actually dust. because he is so good at building roll cages. And remember, he built the roll cage for Richard Hammond, that saved his life.
At the same place?
At the same place, you know, and it saved John's life as well. We're confident in John. If he says it's safe, it's safe. If it's not, then, you know, we just say stop.
John was obviously finding the car, the roll cage done its job.
Yeah.
What's the car made out
of? Steel and wood.
Steel and wood? Wood?
Yeah. Underneath this roof line here is proper wood. And so that, in conjunction with the cage, actually protected quite well.
Really?
It rolled like, you know, 4 times. Obviously John was in there like a washing machine. The engine was still running, so it's good mapping. And then he actually had to turn the engine off, and then had to kick his way out because obviously the running boards come up and locked him in there. And then, yeah, that was it for the day really. So we've sort of come back with this Evolution 2 to you know, have another go again really.
So one world record has already been broken. It was a standing start over half a mile, which was held by Ford Focus, which done 158 miles an hour. John has just done 159 miles an hour. That's one world record in the bag. Inside this caravan is where they register the times.
These clocks actually work in time. They work to 1,000th of a second, and then it will convert the time that it's taken him to do the trap to miles per hour.
How accurate are these? Are these like
to 1,000th, the most accurate thing that you can have? A normal GPS in your car.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they're so unpredictable. It's not true. So a GPS will sample 3 times a second.
Okay.
Right. That thing, if you were taken in the same context, will sample 1,000 times a second. That's the difference.
3 times a second
for a good quality GPS unit.
And that is 1,000.
Yes. That's where the money is, and all the cells and everything else that we've got. Nearly £30,000 worth of time and equipment out on that runway, and then you've got Martin, and he's £60,000 just have him sat there.
Just for an hour.
For an hour.
For £60,000 an hour. Just to think what he's an hour. He's old school generation. Listen, thank you so much for letting us come in here, and let's hope we beat some records today. It seems that there isn't enough air getting out from under the bonnet. So John has chosen an unusual technique to help with the airflow. Get the tape on the bonnet. Wow, the heat that's coming out of this is crazy. They will do anything to get more speed. Cut holes in the bonnet, put like a little aerodynamics vent.
You'd do for your car, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd cut holes in my Lambo. Not. These little things are not doing nothing. They're not doing nothing. No wonder they've done that. He looks happy. He looks happy. Are we happy?
It's a bit better.
It's 5 to 5.
Okay.
And I know we've only got another hour left here.
Yeah.
What is the dream in the next hour to achieve?
230 mile an hour.
Okay. Wow. People are laughing. Okay, so that's
You did say dream.
Okay. What's the reality then?
An improvement.
But yeah, but an improvement, that's I'm going to call that a cop-out. An improvement, listen, you're a seasoned pro. This is not your first rodeo.
No, if the air temps are where we
By the way
want
he
to
drives, it looks like his first rodeo.
If the air temps are manageable, I'd like to see 185.
Okay, that's another 21 mile an hour.
It is, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you crack on. Good luck.
Okay.
So this car is a Riley, the Flying Kestrel is a Riley, and I'm standing next to the grandson of William Riley. So nice to meet you first of all.
Right.
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Your granddad
Yes.
was Riley, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
What was the original Riley colour? You know, like Ferrari is red.
Oh, blue, the blue diamond.
The blue diamond.
Because that was the colour the Coventry dyers used way back in the 17th century. And so my father decided he'd go back in history and use the Riley dyers, their shade of blue.
Today we're here for a world record attempt. What do you think of the Flying Kestrel? How does it feel to you and your family when you see something like this?
I came last August when the first attempt was made. Well, it was a Riley Kestrel body. The connection was very strong. Now the streamlining has occurred. It's made it a little bit different, but you can still see the evolution from the original Riley Kestrel body.
What I love about Victor, he's the epitome of old school. Comes somewhere, turns up in his shirt with his tie, and then you have someone like myself, and to be for everyone here, we're in hoodies or in t-shirts. that is the generation, and that is a man that you look at, you respect, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks. Victor, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure for me.
Shake your hand because we don't spud, he's a handshake man. That is Victor Riley. It's been a successful day. He's pulling back in. He's done 1 world record. It's been amazing. We're going to catch up with him in a second when he gets out the car, but he came, he achieved, and he conquered.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it's a successful day. A little bit of drama here and there, you know, a little bit more of development and work and sweating and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was great. Like we pushed the car on quite a bit this weekend, so got a load of information to work on, and we can always build on what we've got as well. Oh, it's really important to have family around. I think like being supportive. You don't want it to be a negative. Although it's a business for me, it is still my hobby. And you want to cause down the atmosphere where part of your family maybe don't want to do it and that kind of stuff. You don't want to come away and think, oh, you know, I shouldn't be away, I should be at home and all that kind of stuff. It's always been a big family thing, you know. So for me, it's more vocational than a career, although it has devolved into a career. And I still regard it as my hobby. Ultimately, you know, I want to get out there and be competitive and beat it up with the other guys, but it'll all be good fun at the end of the day, you know.
I'm actually in shock. Listen, I'm the guy that's always about new. I'm the Lambo guy. I like all new and fresh, and I've really enjoyed it today. First of all, I love the colour. I think it looks great. I love the fact that you were like, you know what, we need to cool the engine down. Let's just make some holes in the car. I would never do that, but the way you just drilled 3 little holes, no problem at all. And Nigel, obviously the last time you guys were here, the car didn't look like that. It had rolled a few times. So I think you got away with the 3 holes this time.
That's a good point. Let's look at it as a positive. I like that. No.
How do you feel?
I feel brilliant. You know, it's been such a wonderful journey, and we've had our ups and downs. Not many beers would have taken on something as bold as this, and you know, we decided that we were going to see the project through with John, and he felt exactly the same. You know, when we had that crash last August, I said to John, do you want to carry on or do you want to stop? He said, no, we're going to carry on. I said, that's how we feel as a brand. So we've done precisely that, and we've achieved, you know, tremendous things by taking something from 1935, using the best car technology that's around at the moment with Webster Engineering, and we've achieved, you know, fantastic success. So chuffed to bits.
I'm grateful that you guys allowed me to come and film this and experience it with you guys. Thank you so much. A round of applause for these 2 amazing gentlemen. Thank you so much.
So after achieving an outstanding 7 UK land speed records, the Riley Kestrel car made its way to Yiannimize to redo the logo on the roof and get some PPF on the sides and back. Got to protect that vehicle.
So I'm here in the back with Joel from Kestrel. We've done a bit of PPF for you, essentially. So this is hand painted in terms of the doors and the boot lid, obviously with the design.
Yeah, it's a 1935 Riley Kestrel 9. I found it in a barn in Holland, and it had been stored there for 65 years, and it was just a rusted heap.
Okay.
It was something out of Wacky Races. It was awful. So we shipped it over, and then the idea was to see if we could make it the fastest Riley in the world.
You told me off camera that that runs 9 horsepower. Originally, and you've got it to 900. So they're still fiddling around with this, guys, so that's why we've not touched the front. Car is bold, it's bright, it's in the company branding colours as well, but I'm sure this is going to come back to us sometime soon in the future, once it's all done and you're running 900 brake fully, and you're beating records left, right and centre.
Well, we've got 7 currently, but we want more. We want to go over 200 miles an hour. It can do 230, so we're going to go for it.
So keep your eyes peeled. It will probably be back at some point. But Joel, thank you very much.
No, thank you
for allowing us to get our hands on it, albeit for a few little bits, but I'm sure that'll be back soon.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Pleased to be working on a 1935 Riley, which is 900 brake horsepower. That's crazy. It's a Bugsy Malone special. Probably be Al Capone with a few of his friends in the back with Tommy guns pointing out the window.
This is more my style of car. It's not your run-of-the-mill car. This is someone's vision that's come to life. For me, I mean, building motorcycles and cars, this is someone in a garage that is doing what he's doing best. He had a vision in his head and here it is today. It rolled 5 times and came back. Well, not only is it a testament to the car builder that built it the first time, but to pull it back a second time. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, anyone can go fast. It's all about having the right equipment, the right seat belts, a proper cage that's been built in. That's part of the chassis now. Yeah, very nice.